if thereby its soul might find him whom it loves. It was for this reason that Mary Magdalene, though as greatly concerned for her own appearance as she was aforetime, took no heed of the multitude of men who were at the feast, whether they were of little or of great importance. Neither did she consider that it was not seemly, and that it looked ill, to go and weep and shed tears among the guests, providing that, without delaying an hour or waiting for another time and season, she could reach him, for love of whom her soul was already wounded and enkindled. And such is the inebriating power and boldness of love, that though she knew her beloved to be enclosed in the sepulchre by the great sealed stone, and surrounded by soldiers who were guarding him lest his disciples should steal him away, she allowed none of these things to impede her, but went before daybreak with the ointments to anoint him. And finally, this inebriating power and yearning of love caused her to ask one whom she believed to be a gardener, and to have stolen him away from the sepulchre, to tell her, if he had taken him, where he had laid him, that she might take him away. Considering not that such a question, according to independent judgment and reason, was foolish, for it was evident that if the other had stolen him, he would not say so, still less would he allow him to be taken away. It is a characteristic of the power and vehemence of love that all things seem possible to it, and it believes all men to be of the same mind as itself. For it thinks that there is nothing wherein one may be employed, or which one may seek, save that which it seeks itself, and that which it loves. And it believes that there is nothing else to be desired, and nothing wherein it may be employed, save that one thing, which is pursued by all. For this reason, when the bride went out to seek her beloved through streets and squares, thinking that all others were doing the same, she begged them that if they found him, they would speak to him and say that she was pining away for love of him. Such was the power of the love of this Mary, that she thought that if the gardener would tell her where he had hidden him, she would go and take him away, however difficult it might be made for her. Of this manner, then, are the yearnings of love, whereof this soul becomes conscious when it has made some progress in this spiritual purgation. For it rises up by night, that is, in this purgative darkness, according to the affections of the will, and with the yearnings and vehemence of the lioness or the she-bear going to seek her cubs when they have been taken away from her and she finds them not, does this wounded soul go forth to seek its God. For being in darkness, it feels itself to be without him, and to be dying of love for him. And this is that impatient love, wherein the soul cannot long subsist without gaining its desire or dying. Such was Rachel's desire for children, when she said to Jacob, "Give me children, else shall I die." But we have now to see how it is that the soul which feels itself so miserable and so unworthy of God, here in this purgative darkness, has nevertheless strength, and is sufficiently bold and daring to journey towards union with God. The reason is that, as love continually gives it strength wherewith it may love indeed, and as the property of love is to desire to be united, joined, and made equal and like to the object of its love, that it may perfect itself in love's good things, hence it comes to pass that when this soul is not perfected in love, through not having as yet attained to union, the hunger and thirst that it has for that which it lacks, which is union, and the strength set by love in the will which has caused it to become impassioned, make it bold and daring by reason of the enkindling of its will, although in its understanding, which is still dark and unenlightened, it feels itself to be unworthy, and knows itself to be miserable. I will not here omit to mention the reason why this divine light, which is always light to the soul, illumines it not as soon as it strikes it, as it does afterwards, but causes it the darkness and trials of which we have spoken. Something has already been said concerning this, but the question must now be answered directly. The darkness and the other evils of which the soul is conscious when this divine light strikes it are not darkness or evils caused by the light, but pertain to the soul itself, and the light illumines it so that it may see them. Wherefore it does indeed receive light from this divine light, but the soul cannot see at first by its aid anything beyond what is nearest to it, or rather beyond what is within it, namely its darknesses and miseries, which it now sees through the mercy of God, and saw not aforetime, because this supernatural light illumined the soul not. And this is the reason why at first it is conscious of nothing beyond darkness and evil. After it has been purged, however, by means of the knowledge and realization of these, it will have eyes to see, by the guidance of this light, the blessings of the divine light. And once all these darknesses and imperfections have been driven out from the soul, it seems that the benefits and the great blessings which the soul is gaining in this blessed night of contemplation become clearer. From what has been said, it is clear that God grants the soul in this state the favor of purging it and healing it with this strong lye, L-Y-E, of bitter purgation, according to its spiritual and its sensual part, of all the imperfect habits and affections which it had within itself with respect to temporal things and to natural sensual